Computer. Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Bob Patel with Century 21 Jordan Link, and the other gentleman that's pinned currently is Mitch Masanami. He's my counterpart in our Fresno office. We're located in Central California. So, what we decided to do is every week we do some kind of Moxi training, and whether everybody jumps on. Oh, nice. Jumps on or not, at least we can have it recorded for our agents and anybody else. So about 9 months ago, right, Mitch? I asked the brokers to say, hey, would you mind if we do this training and just open it up to the franchise? Because you know what? If we're teaching about Moxie, Present, or Engage, or website for my agents, what's the difference if we help somebody in the franchise or some other agent that actually sees part of our training and finds it a benefit? So that's why we do this. So this is not Century 21 approved. This is just something that we do at our brokerage and we invite everybody. So let me share my screen and we are going to get started. And Mitch, you'll take care of the screenshots for me, right?
You got it.
Okay. Desktop one. Share. Okay. And I am splitting my view. So do you see my screen that says Google?
Yep, sure do.
Okay, awesome. So of course, to get to 21 online, excuse me, to get to Moxie, typically what you would do is go to 21online.com, sign in to your account with your Century 21 credentials. Once you're in your Century 21 Online profile, what you would do is work your way over from the menu on the far right-hand corner, work your way down to Productivity Hub. In there, once you're in here, tons of tools, great resources. You're going to work your way down to M. So once you get here, whether you click on Engage, Impress, Present, or Website, they're all going to take you to your same landing page, two on your Moxie account. One of the things I tell most of my new agents is if this is what they like to go from here straight, because I get them into a habit of using 21 Online, is also these little, if you notice on the far right-hand side of Present, there's a little heart shape. It says Add to Favorite. So what you do is you have your agents do that. And what happens is if you look on the far left-hand corner, there's a little floating bar in gold. All the way on the left, it says favorites. That bar will stay within that corner through the entire 21 online. So no matter where they're at on 21 online, that favorite tab is there. So the agents can click in here and says, hey, I'm going to present. And then when they hit present, it's going to take them over to their admin page for Moxie. So let me show you as soon as it loads right here. Now, just an FYI, if there's any data that needs to be changed here, you can't change it. So get a hold of your admin. Do not call me because I can't help you. Get a hold of your office admin and says, hey, I have a name change, a phone number, an email, my social media links. All of those are updated in Dash. Once you're updated, 24 hours later, it'll sync over to your Moxie account. So hopefully everybody understands that. You sync it through. Once you are here, this is where you have the option to go to present, go to engage. If you're going to work on your website, go to Moxie Impress to get all your marketing material that was created for you. When you got a listing, if you're going to do a Facebook ad, you go into promote. And then if you want to see the directory of all the other agents within your brokerage, you go there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to present. So when we go to present, I already have the tab open. It'll take you here. So what I did is we've done several trainings on Moxie Present, and then Mitch and I were talking and said, hey, what can we do different? What can we do to differentiate yourself? So what I did, and I'm just going to show you that I'm going to work my way back to see how I did it. I just created a presentation non-listing. So basically all it has is the intro cover and my profile, 2 pages, nothing in between, because what I wanted to do for this training is teach individuals how to create custom content that they can add to present. So what I did is I said, okay, what can we do? So I went in and said, well, let's add a mortgage calculator or mortgage widget that somebody can look at and get the information on 30-year, 15-year FHA, jumbo, etc. And then maybe add a little widget that actually will feed news that's current news. So that's one of the widgets I'm going to show you how to add if you choose to. And this widget, once you get these codes, you can add them to your website too. So if you create a custom page on your website, say finance, you can add these widgets to a custom page or any part of your website if you choose. So I looked at that one, then I said, well, what else could we do? I said, hey, you know what? On a Moxie Present, you could actually add a video. So this is really cool. And I just used the Century 21 Moments of Century video just to showcase. But this would be a good place where maybe you do a 30-second, 45-second, 1 minute elevator pitch to says, hi, my name is Bob with Century 21 Jordan Link. Thank you for taking the time to look at my presentation. Let me introduce myself. So if you created a video, something like that, which is really cool, you can actually embed it here because maybe the client gets to see who you are. Because maybe if you're going after a listing and you have their email, say, hey, let me send you a presentation that I'm going to be doing for you tomorrow ahead of time, they'll get to see you. So video marketing is super key. The main thing is whenever you create the elevator pitch, put it on YouTube. Put it on your YouTube channel, and everybody that's set up Moxie use the Gmail account. If you use the Gmail account, you have a YouTube channel that's linked to that Gmail account. It just comes automatically. Most of you probably just don't know. So when there's those nice little boxes in your Gmail account on the top right-hand corner, in there you'll find YouTube. Work your way to your YouTube channel that's tied to that email account. Upload your videos there. Add your description, keywords. Hey, for more information, visit my website. Add your website address. All of that is super important. The reason why is because YouTube is the number 2 search engine in the world. Number 2. Google is 1, YouTube is 2. So you want to put all your videos on YouTube, then it gives you an option to embed them on your present, add those videos onto your website, which is really cool. So what I did is I added this, and what I did is right below it, I just added the leader brand awareness badges that we received just to show you what else you can add. And I'm going to explain how to do that, so don't worry. Then the third one, what I did, I said last week we did a training on using Google new appointment scheduler that comes free with your Gmail account. Funny how Gmail offers all these tools most people don't know. So this appointment scheduler we set up last week in the training, and we set it up. What it allows you to embed it either on your website or wherever else you want to embed it. So I'm like, you know what? Mitch and I were talking. It's like, why don't we just put it on Moxie Present? And Mitch, you actually used this, didn't you?
Oh my gosh, it is a game changer, guys, because when you talk to clients and you're trying to, book an appointment, they kind of give you a rough idea of when it is and what time. I just text them the link. It's just a copy and paste to the same calendar. And I have it set up so that only, the times that will show up that I want to show, and then any overlaps are deleted out of it. It's awesome. They text you back a second later. It's in your calendar. You can't miss. It's wonderful. So anyway, I highly recommend it. Bob, that's one of the game changers that I've ever seen you put on 21 Online or any Moxie, any kind of presentation. It should be standard issue.
So as you guys can tell, it doesn't take much to get Mitch all excited.
Or
And this
whatever.
is just the tip of the iceberg. So I didn't want to overload him with all this other availability tools. So I figured, you know what? I need to keep it simple for my tech guy too, because he'll have 50 million ideas on what to do with it. And I'm like, I got to rope him in. So appointment calendar, super important. It's on my YouTube channel. When you get a chance, Mitch, put that YouTube channel in the chat. It's on our company channel because we don't have a designated place currently until Anywhere
Hmm.
brand looks at something to replace Workplace. So I'm just adding it onto my brokerage YouTube channel. So this was the other thing that we embedded. It's kind of cool. If you're going after a presentation, somebody could schedule something with you, with it, whether it's a buyer or a seller, it doesn't matter. The third next one that I added, I couldn't get the Real Satisfied widget to work because Real Satisfied introduced where you can create a widget to embed on your website. Fine. That works fine. I couldn't get the widget to work here. So I figured, you know what? I'll just embed, since I don't have any reviews, since I'm not a licensed realtor and I don't sell real estate, I figured let me embed Mitch's Real Satisfied page, the whole page on here. So now somebody in through your Real Satisfied can call, email, refer, share, and then look at Mitch's reviews, which is actually kind of cool to be able to do that. See, the whole page actually fitted right in it. Because you don't know if they give you a review, if they call you, they're impressed by your reviews, why not include that in your presentation? Because at the end of the day, once you create these custom pages and you add them to a regular presentation, you create a template. Once a template's done, all of these pages will always be there every time you use that template. So the idea with it present is you got to get good at it, figure out what content you want on 99% of the presentations you want to do, and save that as a template so you're never reinventing the wheel. Okay. Now, the next one that I did was neighborhood news. Of course, we put clients on neighborhood news through Moxi Engage. So I was thinking last night, I said, okay, what else can I put on here? I don't lose people, but they understand how it's done. So what I did is I put the neighborhood news. So if you notice, this is the neighborhood news for my neighborhood. Now, this would be actually kind of cool, especially if you're going after a listing in that same neighborhood. The potential seller is going to see this information like, wow, okay, this is actually kind of cool. And of course, I haven't figured out how to get it to get past it's breaking off, but that was the least of my worries. The idea is to let the seller know, hey, when you get to the section on neighborhood news, that's just a sample I want to show you. I can actually set one up where you'll get automated emails based on any time there's an activity in your particular neighborhood. So then you let me know when you're ready to sell, but they get an idea of what the report will look like instead of you talking about it. So if they saw that presentation, you're like, you know what? I like the information in here. Yeah, sign me up, put me on there. They can also check mortgage calculator. They can see any other information on whatever properties are. They can click on it. They can see the information on the house. They can scroll. And this is on your Moxie Present. How cool is that? Nothing in the chat, right? I haven't lost anybody yet. Hopefully, I haven't lost anybody.
Nope.
Okay, and then the last thing was, of course, your profile. So these are the pages we're going to cover. Now, like I said, I wanted to keep it simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to my presentation. So basically what I did is when I did it, I created a presentation and I said non-listing because the only thing it's going to do is put two pages, the cover and my profile with my name, picture, and everything. Then I was going to manually add pages because technically you guys would use the listing presentation because these pages you wanted included with whatever pages you want in your listing presentation. I just did it this way for me for now. But it's the same way you do it. If you're going to do it and you want to create these custom pages in your listing presentation, then basically you would go through and says, I need a new seller presentation, take out the pages you don't want on the default, and then add pages like I'm going to show you. Okay. So add pages custom. I'm going to go back to my presentation. So basically you would go to add a page, create a new, because we're not going through the Century 21 library. We're going to create a new. It says, hey, do you want to upload a PDF or do you want to build a page? Pretty simple. If it's a PDF, you upload it. Like let's say, what kind of pages would you upload, Mitz?
Um,
That
any
sheet?
kind of custom. Yeah, and I've actually done home inspections and termite reports as well. Just examples and stuff like that.
Got it. So build a page. So I already know that the content that I want to put, it's going to be centered. Just one row because we're going to put the mortgage calculator, and I don't want to go two rows or three columns. So I'm just going to pick the basic one. I'm going to hit create. So now what it's saying is, okay, what do you want to do on this custom page? Do you want to add text? If you click text, it's going to open up a text editor. If you click image, it's going to say, well, what picture? Do you want to upload one or do you want to add a picture? So let's say you wanted to add a picture. I'm going to select this one. It adds a picture. And then if you do, now there's a little plus symbol on the bottom, plus. Okay, what do you want below it? Maybe you want a two column row that's half and half, or three quarters and one quarter, you decide, or you says, I want three columns because then when you do that, it says now you have the option in these three boxes. Do you want to add a text box? Do you want to add an image? Do you want to add a video? So this is, I'm going to show you. Picture, you already saw how you do it. Let me show you real quick and not to get sidetracked because I need you guys to understand how powerful you can make your presentations. Um, Century 21. I'm just going to find, oh, Century 21 Global. Let's just do that one. Oh, that's not the one. I need, oh, that's an ad. Let's do this video. Okay, this is a Century 21 video. So if we go back to present and I hit video, it's going to ask me for the URL. So then it's not asking for an embed code. So I just go share and I copy this address, that address, go back to present, paste it here and hit add. Video's there. That's it. That's as simple as adding a video. Pictures you guys already saw. You go picture if you upload one. If not, you're like, hey, which picture do you want? Most respected. And of course, you want to add pictures that are about the same size because it's not going to know how to adjust. Okay, so that's how you add a picture. So let me get rid of this row. Okay, the other thing that it has, let me get rid of this again, go back in here, get rid of this one, is more. Why is that one important? Because when you click more, watch what happens. This entire bar along the top gives you a lot more options. Okay. Font size. How do you want it? Left or right aligned? What kind of line heights do you want? Line spacings. Do you want to add any templates? You can create a template. There's a template in there. It says, hey, I want to create something like, say, it's showing you blanks, full page, large image. Okay. And then it's got four boxes below. See how that layout is? If I pick that one and I hit select, it drops it in here for me. So now it's telling me replace this picture, replace the picture, and then below it has text boxes. So that's what you would have to do is showing you, giving you a guide. But what I did is I Googled mortgage widgets. Just went to Google. I came across the Mortgage Daily News that has widgets. I'm going to put it in the chat. And don't worry, I'm also going to put it on the YouTube video that I create. And I'm going to put it in there also. And then I'll share it back out on Facebook. But then I'll have all the links in there, so don't worry. So that is to this page. So basically what I did is says, okay, I need mortgage rate widget. There's more options. Okay, it says, what do you want? I want an expanded vertical. I want the horizontal. Well, let's customize it. Once you hit customize, it takes you here. It says, how wide? Well, I want it large. Okay, so now you're creating your widget. Okay, solid border, height is fine. Here, color. Right here it says header, footer, color. If I replace that with BEAF 87, now what it did is it added the color for the header, the footer, and the border to gold. If you want it black, you want it black. It's up to you. Then once you decide how you want this widget to show, there's a code right here. If I copy that code, go back to here, and remember, you're going to install it. So text doesn't allow you to do code, it's text. Image is photos. Video is video. You go to more. Then it says right here on the far right, it says source. That is where you drop the code. All you do is click it, paste the code, hit OK. See, it's showing you a preview. I can tell it to click, select it, and hit center, whichever way you want to do. Then I'm going to save it. Give it a name, finance. Let's say that's what I want to call it, and save. Then exit. If you notice my cover sheet, this is the one we just did. Here's that finance widget. So now this finance page, you will rearrange based on how you want it with your rest of your presentation to so somebody can say, oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, the fixed rate is 6.79. Yeah, well, and it's updated daily. Oh, it went down to 6.72. So it's a continuous update. This data will update every so often. So it's live feeding, which is really cool. So the second one that I did on the presentation was, and of course, I added on the mortgage rate one, the current mortgage news. If you go back to here and go back to, you could do a mortgage calculator if you want. You can add
Cool.
that to your presentation the same way. You customize it and you take the code and add it. If you want to do the news, same thing. There was a new scroller. That's the one I selected. So I am going to customize it and decide how wide do I want it? What height do I want? There's the height. Okay, we'll leave it at that. What colors do I want for the header? Same thing. I can change that out. Yeah. Header, header, footer, gold, if that's what you want. If the header you want color, you want like I want black, because the header is a title. You want those titles not to be gold if it's especially if you can't see it. So let's say this is what you want. You copy this code and you could technically go back to this presentation, hit the edit mark, hit the code mark, enter, paste the second one. Now I got two. If I save and then exit out, they're overlapping a little bit, so I can show you how to fix that. Now I got a widget and I got a news feed that's scrolling. So most of you would be like, well, what if I want it separated a little bit because it looks cluttered? Yes, you do. Go back to edit, take, oops, go back to source, take that second one that you added out, hit OK, and hit this button on the bottom to say add a new one. I want to go one full width, hit OK. And then in here, I'm going to put the code. So now it has its own box. Hit save, exit back out. So now I added it in its own box. Mitz, is anybody lost or everybody okay?
I have a question.
Yes.
You know, I don't know if this is a style thing or a website thing, but like, you know how you had three boxes out? Could you put it in the middle? And does it matter what size you choose as far as it being mobile friendly? Does that matter at all or?
So, yeah, so if you look at this source code that we have here, I'm going to go to that one. It says the height is 400,
Mhm.
the width is 6. So it's not gonna adjust when you get to mobile because
Okay.
it has a specific says, hey, I can't go smaller than a specific size. So if you're looking to figure out how do I fit that widget in to where it's gonna work the way I want it to work, let me where's my get out of this. You may want to mortgage rates go this way based on what you're trying to put.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
I was figuring if I send a presentation to somebody, they're going to look at it on their computer.
Yeah.
But you could put it this way, and then if they when they and put it in the center out of three columns, put it in the middle. Then of course, when they look at it mobile, it's going to be right there, phone size.
Okay. Cool. Awesome.
But you can adjust. See, you can decide you want. I don't like the light version. I want the expanded. This expanded version will work the same too, which will work in the mobile view, the one on the left. Because that's about, but it has a graph, which actually some people like having that data graph to show. So you can do
Yeah.
that, or you could put just this widget on a page just by itself on your phone. I mean, excuse me, on your website, and then save that URL. Oh, you're looking to buy a home? I said, you know what? I'm going to text you a link so you can see what the finance rates are currently. And you text them the link to that page, which will show up mobile with only that showing. Does that make sense?
Hey, Bob. Yeah, yeah, that totally makes sense. Shannon's got a question. What's the difference between the widgets and the iframe and embedded media?
Well, a widget is a widget that you have to frame, technically. So widgets, when you use a third-party application like this one, it's gonna give you these are widget. It's a widget. Let me explain this before I get technical. It's a widget you're installing by using the code, the iframe code, to embed the widget. Does that make sense? So these are widgets, but we need a code that we need to put on our website for this widget to be visible, which is the iframe code. Does that help?
Yeah, it's where the
Hopefully,
machine language goes, right?
yeah,
So
hopefully I'm looking here where I see everybody's pictures and make sure nobody's like, oh my God, what did you just say? Uh, huh, that's odd. Somebody requested recording and it stopped mine. Okay, so that's how you do that one. Mortgage calculator. Any place on the web that offers you to be able to embed a widget or with a code, you could technically put it into your present by using the code, the source code, and onto your Moxi website. Because Mitz and I have done a lot on the Moxi website by using code, just as if I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but um, Century 21, because we're residential IDX feeds, a lot of agents do a lot of commercial property. So what you have to do is this is just a side note, find your profile on Century 21 commercial, and then go down where it says see all my listings, all brokerage listings. And then basically you can do this. You can embed. So I embedded the Century 21 Jordan Link listings section on the commercial site to feed onto my website. I could do the same thing by having that show up on my Moxie Present. It's all about knowing what code to embed. See, they could look at any one of these properties and they can see all the data, and it's still on my website. That's the thing about widgets. Once you understand what you want, you can embed them, but the advantage is you could do it on your present and on your website to add content on your website. So that was this little tool. We already covered Moxie Present. We already went over adding a video and pictures. Really simple. I just added another row, and each one I told it I wanted a picture. This one was the Google Calendar training that we did last week. Um, so if I was to go to calendar, to my Google Calendar, and if you notice, if you had attended the training, there's these little says book an appointment, book an appointment. I'm just gonna click on it, and it says, hey, what do you want to do on your book an appointment calendar? And if you guys would like to learn more about this booking calendar, the video is on the YouTube channel. But if you need more information, put it in the chat, and then maybe me and Mitch and I will do another training. Um, but you go here and you says, I want to share. It says, where do you want to share? Do you want the link? This link would be super important to add into your Gmail. Book an appointment today in your Gmail signature or wherever else you want to put it. That little right there. Or you say, I want to have more training on Google appointments. Okay, Gina. Website embed, you're like, okay, do I want to put a button? So technically, Mitz can put a button on his website. They tap it, and it opens up the calendar to book, which I didn't tell him about. So now he's going to be like, how do I do that? Or I want an inline page. If it's a button, there's a code. It says book an appointment. I want it to be in blue. You copy this code, and it'll drop a button wherever you put that code. When they tap it, it'll open up a pop-up and they can set an appointment. Or you select that I want to not just embed with a pop-up, as you can tell right there, or inline page. Click that. So now if I copy this code right here, that is the one that we were talking about in present. If I was to add a page, create a new, build a page, full page, create, hit more, code, paste. Okay, save. Name and save. There it is. If I exit out, book an appointment, this is what would show up on my website.
Yeah, that's what I text to my clients so they can book a time with me, and I love it.
Yep. So it's one of those things that, mo some of you are like, it seems complicated, but it's actually not. If you go back and watch this video, once I put it, you're like, he just went here, 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 here. It's because you're not used to it. I am. I've been doing this kind of stuff for over 30 years. So I'm used to knowing how I could put things together. And the reason I have mitts on the car is because I understand the marketing and the technical part. I'm not a realtor. So then he's on there to counterpart, hey, as a real estate agent, this is what I'm doing, which to you guys is relatable. To me is for you to relate to me when I'm talking tech, it doesn't. But this is how you can use the tool. So that's the easiest way if you have a booking calendar. The other thing that we did on this training that we were looking at is this real satisfied. Super important. Like, hey, how do I do that? So on here, on his Real Satisfied, I'm going to show you it's really, really easy. I'm going to hit Real Satisfied here. I'm going to look at the code, and this is the code in the chat. Okay, if you guys take that code, and if you notice it says 1200 wide, 1200 pixels, or let's say 12 inches by 100%. So its height is 1200. I did that. So what happens is I kept playing with it. Let me exit out and let me go to view his site. Go to Real Satisfied. Um, to here, I made it. I said I wanted 1200 high. The reason I did it is so the bottom of his review will fit right in here. See, I can go higher. See how it doesn't fit all the way? And it comes down to here, and then he's got expertise, and then he's got right here. Like, wow, okay, so well, Bob, that didn't fit. If I go back to Real Satisfied and I edit it, I go to source and says, okay, it's not fitting. So I'm gonna double this to 2400. Okay, higher, hit okay. I'm gonna save. Once it's saved, I can refresh this presentation. Um, and we're going to go to page 7. Bear with me. Too much. Real satisfied. Now let's see how far it goes. See? It's going all the way to here. That means I didn't make it big enough. That's how you play around with it. You're like, okay, well, 2400 didn't work. Okay, well, let's try 3000. Okay, hit okay, save, go to your present, refresh it. Because remember, you're only doing this once. Once you're doing it and you know it fits, it's always going to be that height. So we're going to go back to here and let's see how far it takes us to there. So you just got to learn on pixels, like, okay, I need to go 24, 26, and then it stretches it out. You're like, perfect. Now the whole page fits in it. The clients can go through and look at all of my reviews. They can read any other information. So that code that I put in the ch chat, if you copy that code and you put in where it says HTTPS, any website address, it'll embed that website onto your Moxie Present. It'll also embed it onto your Moxie website, like I showed you on jordanlink.com. Here, it's the same code. I just went to Century 21 Commercial to figure out what is the URL at the top that lands a customer on this particular page. On this page, that's what you got to do. If you're wondering how I did it, this is how I did it. I'm just going to show you. So I went to Century 21. Wait, I want to get out of that one. Century 21 commercial, Jordan link, and not that one. Oh, offices, Jordan Link and Company. Okay, offices, Jordan Link and Company. And go here. This is commercial Jordan Link and Company. I'm gonna go down. Ah, right here. See, I found this page. I don't want this page. View all listings. That's the page I want when somebody loads here. See, that's my website. That's the brokerage page. If you notice, they look identical, pretty much. So I copied this URL and I pasted it in that iframe code. Shanna, what are you doing? Nice. Thank you so much. Look at that. Why don't you do the next training on Thursday? Would you mind? I was just going to get to that, but it's okay. Just take my thunder away. I Hey, Miss, next time we do training, can you not let her in, please? Just joking. Okay, so that's the same code, way ahead of me, but that's okay. We were talking about the real satisfied, exactly what Shanna says. All you're going to do is replace moxieworks.com with your agent website link. Exactly how you do it. Really super simple. And what I did is I also went into my Gmail because I have myself on neighborhood news from my neighborhood. So what I did is I found this page. When it says view full report, this is where it would take them to this page. So that what I did is I took that same code. I'm like, you know what? I want to put this on my Moxie Present. I took the same code and added that Moxie Present. Let's say I'm going to take Mits out. I'm going to go to source and I'm going to replace that URL with right there. That's his URL, right in between source and two exclamation marks. I'm going to paste that website page, save, close. There is my neighborhood news. So imagine the possibilities once you understand how that little code, you can embed any page onto your website, which is sometimes kind of nice to have, especially if it's a third-party blog you're using. You want to showcase that on your website, or you want to showcase that on your Moxie Present, or any other data. Um, so that's basically these are the only things I found at the moment, not to keep it overly complicated. So does anybody have any questions? Because I'm just going to go ahead and unmute everybody if I can find.
I think if there's like clients that are very sensitive about maybe school districts or things like that, you can embed those websites for the specifics that they're looking for. Things like that. And like, whatever you can dream up, you can pretty much embed in there.
Absolutely. It's just the idea of knowing how to do it. Those codes are super simple. And the reason it seems complicated because most of you are not used to doing it. Once you do it, you're like, that wasn't that bad. I just took the code and I put it in there and replaced it with whatever website I wanted to show. And then you get a little bit more comfortable. I mean, if it doesn't work, then, it's not, you haven't presented it to anybody yet until you do that. But this is just gives you an option that says, how can I take my Moxie Present up one level? Could I add something unique? And the biggest thing I'm telling you, and I tell all my agents that you can do is video marketing, hands down, and Google. Google reviews are number one. Google reviews are king. I don't care how you do it and how you slice it. Your Google My Business, every client should have given you a review there because that will instantly get onto Google faster than you will building a website, trying to optimize it, pay somebody $3,000, $4,000 because they're going to do this to my website, give me rank number one. Not going to happen within 6 months. It does not. They're going to cheat, black hat, to get you up. And eventually Google will say, hey, you're not doing this the right way. I'm going to bump you back down. But your Google listing, because everybody goes on the phone and local Japanese restaurant, local Mexican restaurant, or nail salon near me, they Google and it shows that list with map. And if some of you are confused, it's um, this right there. That's the top three. How do you get there? Reviews. And then updating your information, content, what services, what kind of services do I offer? Keeping it updated. So then this is the fastest way on could get on to, for you to get noticed on Google because also there's your website link. One thing, if any of you are going to create a Google My Business listing, do me a favor. If you have a large office, do not put your office address. Do not. Whatever you do not do it because most of you don't spend most of your time at the office anyway. It's like my realtors, I tell them no. The reason why don't put this address is because I have 150, let's say 140 realtors in this office. All of them were active with a Google listing. Google says there is no way you can have 140 different businesses at one address, the same address, no suite, floor, nothing, same address. It's going to think it's malicious. It's going to block you. So what you do is you say, I do not, I service clients at their home. Put your home address in, and there's an option. Clients don't come to me, I go to them. When you set that, it shows a generic location of where you're at, like a quarter-mile radius, but doesn't show your address. Only you can see it. To the public, they can't see where your address is. And what happens is when you do that, I think I'm logged in, so it's not going to work. But it'll show a radius on where that particular business is located, a radius map. Then it's easier for you to get approved. If not, you're going to have a heck of a time trying to get approved on Google. Yes, Mitz?
Bob, isn't it? I mean, the Real Satisfied is a very lengthy, like questionnaire, right? I mean, the
Yes.
Google reviews are like very short and very easy to send out. I think it's, I mean, I don't have as many Google reviews as I do Real Satisfied just because of how old I am. But I mean, I think that's the better way to go from here on out, right?
Well, your reviews could be short, like Linda put on my profile. Bob was great to work with. Thanks for the help.
Oh no, I mean like the on the consumer side, I think it's like 21 questions, whereas like a Google review is just a comment, right?
Comment, and you can go up to X amount of characters. So technically you could go up to um 4,000 characters on a
Yeah.
reply. So if you have a great relationship with your clients, says, hey, when you leave me a review, can you just mention that I'm an awesome local real estate agent servicing Visalia? I don't know how many of your clients would do that because the review has in there local real estate agent serving Visalia becomes keywords. So somebody's Googling, guess what? And they're searching for a local realtor. Your profile might show up because it's got specific keywords with it. The other thing I was telling Mitch, some of you work in a specific area and you want to expand. Well, your Google My Business listing is catered to a specific area within when it says near me. So if somebody has to be near your address, even though they can't see your address, for your business to show up because like, hey, why am I going to show your business when you're 30 miles away? But I'm standing in Los Angeles, but my business is located in Visalia, which is 180 miles away. It'll never show my Google listing because that is not near me. Local business near me, local realtor near me. For those of you that want to expand into neighboring areas, get reviews from people and businesses in those areas. it'll expand your Google listing. I'm hoping it makes sense. So those of you that service three, four different counties, it's perfect. Get reviews from all your clients from all those geolocations. It'll help bump up your Google listing instead of everybody just in your own town. Hopefully that helps. We send a real satisfied after every transaction and then an email listing them to know the survey is coming and also inviting them to leave a review on a Google. Wow, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Hey, Shannon, would you like to do a training on how you do that? I guess that's a no. We'll have to get her out of her shell one day. So, is there any other questions on this short but intense training? Anything?
Can you tell us a
Uh,
little bit?
Go
I
ahead.
have a question.
Hi.
So I get a little bit buried when I go to Center 21 about all different videos. And I know you mentioned to do a video. Where would you start
To do what now again?
to add a video to your presentation?
Have you recorded a video
The C21 videos.
and you want to add it to a Moxie Present?
Well, you gave us an example when you were doing your example earlier.
Yeah, it's add a page, custom page. Like once you put in these are the pages I want from a listing, create a new, build a page, and then you just gotta decide, do I want two videos next to each other or do I want three?
I'm just saying, like, how do you select from Center 21's vast array of videos? How do you,
Oh, like maybe going through the brand studio.
yeah.
Well, no, you go to the Century 21 University and it's I mean excuse me, the YouTube channel, and you just gotta decide. Like for me, I was like, you know what, this is a great they had this get the new video that they come out in 60 seconds. Let me put that one. And maybe I want to put a 30-second about promoting that, hey, we're doing, Major League Soccer. I want to put a moment on that one. Or I randomly will go through and just swap these out. Some of these new dedicated to the joy of home, I'll swap them out. So the next time somebody comes in, they see a different video and hoping they play it, like, oh, that's kind of cool. They remember your website that they saw that video. It's going to be
Okay.
up to you. Everybody's different on what content they want to share.
Because it just feels like I go to Brand Studio and I get overwhelmed. So I didn't know if there's I love your shortcut of YouTube.
Yeah, you just
Yeah,
go to
YouTube.
because that's the easiest way to embed it on your website or your present. It has to be on YouTube.
Okay.
So the brand studio videos
On
are going to be a
YouTube
little
and Brand
tricky.
Studio?
I'm sorry.
Are they the same videos on like the ones that are right here on YouTube? Are those the same? Aren't those the same ones that are in the Brand Studio? Right?
They are, I think, because at the end of it, it customizes with your contact information on the last
Okay, okay.
slide.
Uh,
But then that means you're going to have to save it and then you're going to have to manually upload it to your own YouTube channel. Or do you just want the link and put it in there without doing all that? Anything
Very
else?
cool.
Pat, do you have anything? Yolanda always does, so she'll be knocking on my door in a little bit. Sandy, you doing okay? Becky, you doing okay? Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, I will have this video once we save. Hopefully, it didn't mess up. Put it on my brokerage YouTube channel, and I'll see if I can get it and add it onto the Facebook group. So if somebody wants to see it, um, if there's no other thing, if anybody needs help, reach out anytime, and we're going to end this training. You guys have a
Yeah.
great day.
Thanks.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.